right, welcome back. Another review. This time we got Cardiac here, and I'm just gonna start off by taking this guy off. All right, we're one step closer to being caught up with the new ones I got, and then we will have stuff in package soon, hopefully. So here's Cardiac, part of the new single carded release they have for Spider-Man. Cardiac is one of those characters where I've always remembered him off of one single piece of artwork. I don't know what it is. So I was weird. I didn't read comic books as a child, and I barely read a lot as an adult. I was weird because I read encyclopedias and Wikipedias. That's how I would keep up with stuff. That's weird, I know, but that's just how I did it. Because I remember in school, they made you rent library books, and I would always, I don't know if people remember this, I don't know if it's like DK Books or DK Publishing, but there was a Spider-Man specific encyclopedia for kids, and then there's a Hulk one, and it had captions and factoids and artwork and all this stuff. I would just switch on and off between those two things, read them constantly. And in the Spider-Man one, Cardiac was in there, and I remember the very specific artwork, and I always remembered him. And here he is. So I had to have him. He looks very interesting, very clean. Also, a comment down below if you are like super into the community. I might be remembering wrong, but I swear that people were convinced that we would never get this guy. I might be wrong, but I feel like I remember reading stuff saying like they would just never do this guy. I might be wrong. I don't know. I don't know if it was. I want to say it was because of his name, Cardiac. Maybe I'm wrong. I might be mistaken, but I like I said, I just kind of remember people basically losing hope that this would ever come into fruition. Could be wrong. I don't know. So let's just get into the figure here. The blue that they use is absolutely beautiful. It's as matte as it could get. And even the white is not super shiny. The only thing shiny on here is the like electrical kind of look that he's got going on, and this is one that I touched up a bit, so it's even shinier because of me. But anyway, I'm just gonna go over articulation first. So the head is on a dumbbell, which is lame. You always get good tilt for the most part. It goes all the way around, but again, the up and down on these dumbbell joints is just specifically going up just always just does not want to work. So yeah, and then the torso is on a dumbbell joint as well. Can go forward that much, can go back about that much. Get not a nice tilt side to side, and I'm sure you could get it all the way around. And then there's no articulation on the body past that point, so that's kind of lame. I feel like they could have gave us another hinge right here, just to go straight up and down, because that, I mean, it would have technically cut up the decal here, but if it was only going up and down, it's not like it would have like been egregious. It would have stayed straight with the, it's not even a decal, because all of these metal shockwave look, I don't know what you want to call them, it's all sculpted in. It's not just painted on, that's sculpted in. And I'm pretty sure that the budget for this wave, I'm pretty sure it all went into this guy. And it does show, but like I said, I think to make this thing that much better, I think it could have had one more hinge there, but whatever. And then the ball coming out to the thigh. Now this is a big beefy thigh, because usually the thigh cut would be about right here. This guy is actually down here. And it makes sense. I mean, you still get the same effect, but when they are able to hide articulation points just through the character design, that's beautiful. So that is actually, I love that. And then surely these straps here are a separate piece, and then you get a little bit of leg down there till you hit these knee pads here, which stop about there, which makes sense. Gonna have to get out of the way. And then you get double jointed pinless leg that only goes to there because it's gonna pouch to pouch. This guy is very, I don't know how old this character is, but he's really given 90s vibes with all these pouches. So again, this is another thing that could have made this better. There's no boot swivel. It's a perfect area for it. It's one of those areas where I think they're skimping out on it. But more pouches, and then here, all these gray lines I filled in with a gray. Those were unpainted, but those are sculpted in. And then a forward-facing pin for rocker. Can go up, not a whole lot, and it can go back if he'd stop bending his knee all the way there. So that makes sense, right? Feet going up or down, usually they make sense. I will say though, going forward on this one, that's a little unacceptable to me. Oh, and then the leg, I didn't even bother. So going backwards, decent amount. Going forward, it's about 90, that's acceptable. And then going sideways, not quite 90, but I mean, you could get it to 90 technically. Awesome. So, and then, so the arms, you got a ball coming out to the shoulder here, or peg, and you can go all the way around because the shoulder pads, it's a ring around that peg. And I love this system because I think like back in the day, it would have stopped right about there. So love that system they've done there. And then, yeah, so it's still gonna stop itself. Like you could move this ring up and down and you could probably get that to go a little bit higher. Double jointed pinless elbow, which is tight. And then again, pouches gonna get in the way. And then a hinge and swivel there. This one goes up and down. That way and that way. I do have some paint scuff in the hand because I did paint the staff. I don't really care because you can barely see it. He's going to be holding it anyway when he's on the shelf. So that's just kind of what it is. And then yeah, here's the back. Again, it's not very shiny. Everything's pretty much matte. I guess I'll go over the paint apps now. Like I said, these lines here and here, I went in with the gray. I also painted every single little button on every single little patch. I painted it silver. That took a while. And then I did add some paint to crevices on the torso here, as well as this little crevice there. And then I did, so in images of this guy, these electrical patterns, it's usually white, which would be fine, that's cool. But on the figure, they weren't quite white, but they weren't quite silver. They were like this weird in between, I think. I think they were probably more silver than white, but I just decided I'd go in with the silver because like with all the white going on, it kind of still looks white anyway, but you still get like the metallic shine effect. So I just went over all of it, even on the face. And then, yeah, also cool little thing on either side here, as you see there and there, I didn't paint these silver, so they, I guess as a result, they kind of stick out a little bit more. But on camera, it doesn't look that bad. But they chose that color so it would just kind of continue the look, and I think that was super clever. I love when they're able to do that as well. So yeah, and then the head, and like I said, this blue is beautiful. But the head here, as you can see, looks phenomenal. People's main complaint about this, as far as the sculpt goes, is the nose. So, as you can see here, people kind of say he has too much of a nose. Even though there's not a whole lot there, it's definitely not as long as a normal nose. But honestly, I think it's the shadow being casted below it that really makes it stick out a little bit more than it should. I've seen people online shave it down and kind of try to smooth it out, and you could get rid of it that way. I don't care that much. I think from far away, it looks fine. You can tell he doesn't have a huge nose, but I would kind of rather it be a little bit more less pronounced, I think, because that is kind of how I see him. I think on the image on the package, I think he had pupils, but I'm never going to be mad at whited out eyes, so that's cool. So there's that. And then accessories, he comes with, he's got his staff holding hands on right now, but he also comes with a right fist that goes up and down, and then kind of this more relaxed hand that also goes up and down. And then he comes with his staff that I repainted silver, and there's a lot of indented lines on top, bottom, and in between. I went with like a dark metal, gunmetal gray. And then he comes with this power effect that if you squeeze it, it comes apart, and it's supposed to go on either end of this thing here, like that, and you could put the other one in there and it stays in place. But I just it kind of just looks like he's carrying around a giant thing of cotton candy to me. I don't really care for it, so I've had him just holding the normal staff here. But it does look nice. There's there's some white painted on the inside to kind of give it that like inner glow look. I just wish it didn't look so much like cotton candy. I think if there was a little bit more pronounced, I don't know, like spike look or flared out strands of energy, I don't know, anything to make it look less like this. It's still fine. It's just not my preferred look. You could put his hands in there, store his hands, save up some space, but yes. And he only comes with one. If you wanted two, you'd have to buy another cardiac, and then you could have this look on either side here, which I think at that point would just look like he's trying to lift. I don't know. I think this could have been done in at least a better shape or something. But yeah, and he holds it just fine. Like I said, I got some paint rub here because I painted the actual handle. But he holds it fine. He can beat Spider-Man with it across the back of the head, or he can just hold it there. So yeah, that's Cardiac. To me, this is a quintessential Spider-Man villain, even though I don't know anything about him past this figure and the little blurb and picture I read about him when I was in, what, 4th or 5th grade. But he always stood out to me, so he was always in that upper echelon of what I would consider classic Spider-Man villains, even though I've never seen him pop up again. So, but like, is it a damn good looking figure, man? Like I said, it's pretty much a matte finish all the way around. The sculpted in pattern there. The shoulder pads are done nicely. It's kind of a weird armor setup, though, if I think about it. Like, this doesn't look like armor to me. There's a very clear area where it becomes armor. So he's really only armored on his shoulder, the back of his upper back, his upper back, and then he does have a collar that comes around. So and then his elbows, but nothing on his. Oh, I am just messing up his knees, not his elbows. So I don't know. He's kind of armored up in a peculiar way, but it's just damn clean, man. I think he might be the coolest of the wave in terms of just how he looks, man. Like, I do think I like Spider-Man 2099 a bit more, and I know people are kind of sleeping on Astounded or Nightcrawler Spider-Man, whatever the hell he's called. I think that's cool too, but I think this guy has just been a slept-on villain the whole time. So I don't know what he does other than his cotton candy stick of doom here, but yeah. Would I recommend him? Yes. I got him at Target. They actually had the whole wave, and they've been like bone dry for like the past 2 months since I've been there. All they ever had was the 2-pack of the Thunderbolts, and they were getting low on that. So, but they had a whole wave of like multiples, like the whole way, And it took everything in me not to get them all. But like I said, as you know, I'm on the pick and choose train right now. So I kind of decided, well, what do I think is going to be the peg warmer? What do I think is going to go out fast? And I thought this guy and 2099 would be, you know, probably gone next time I went there. So I might be wrong. You never know when it comes to this stuff, but yeah. I do know for a fact though that Hypno Hustler, I don't think people are hypnotized by him at all, because I see him almost everywhere. So he'll probably be the last I pick up in terms of this wave. But yeah, so I definitely recommend this guy. He's sick. It looks sick. He articulates pretty well. And at the end of the day, I think the only thing I would improve upon was bring back the boot swivel, give us a hinge right here, and get rid of this dumbbell. I know some people like this, but I just, you know, like tilt's fine. It's fine, but you're trading off the up and down, and I think up and down is a little bit more crucial to action poses than slightly given some attitude with a head tilt. You know, that might just be me. I don't know. But other than that, I think everything else is executed awesome. He, you know, he's not like top 10 Spider-Man villains to me, but he just looks damn good. He is awesome. So yeah, I recommend him. Go get him. I was trying to think of some sort of cardiac joke, but I'm not that funny today. So yeah, so that's it. That's my review. There he is. Recommend. Like, subscribe. I always feel weird saying share this because it's just such a weird video to share, but whatever. Anything is appreciated. Every click is a step closer to doing something cool. So I appreciate it. Thank you, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.